Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, that's a good one.
Or candy in general, I guess. Yeah.
Candy in general, I guess. Oh man. So like, I only really get these around Halloween, and I only ever see them around Halloween. But you know, like the not bunches of honey, but they're like similar to bunches of honey. It's essentially like a little bar of like taffy. It's like very similar to a toffee.
Like honey bunches of oats? Is that what you're talking about? What is bunches of honey?
No, bunches of honey. I think that's what it's called. Let me look it up. It's like a little honey bar.
I knew you would say some esoteric candy that no one's ever fucking heard of. You're like, oh,
bunches of honey are not my favorite. But they're similar to the bunches of honey. You know what? That's actually just not their name at all. Googling it, that's just not the fucking name. What the fuck? Okay, it's something of honey.
Candy of honey.
Maybe bite of honey? Oh, bit of honey?
Bit of honey. Yeah, the little like
bit of honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah.
Okay, so you don't like those. You like other taffy?
There's one that's like similar to it. But like they're a little softer. And yeah, they're great.
Dude, are you 75 years old?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I only ever get them around Halloween because they're the candies that like people don't like, and like you can't really buy them outside of like CVS or like in like the big 120 packs that they use to just like fill them. You know.
I feel gross just.
You want more? Do you want a more normal answer?
No. You're valid. I mean, you're allowed to like what you like. I guess I'm looking at them and like recoiling. Like I feel like even Tootsie Rolls. I don't really.
I was gonna say Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll is gonna be the more normal answer.
Freak. That's crazy. You know, until we started talking, I never realized how like
insane other people's tastes could be.
No. I was gonna say I don't think I'm a picky eater, but I guess I'm not picky. I just have strong opinions on food, which I guess I have strong opinions on everything. So it's not really shocking. But yeah, I'm just like
Lane. You could name any candy, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I like that one too. Like it's not like a. It's not like I would refuse any candy for this.
Fair, that's fair. Yeah, he's just like, are you good, dude? Oh, he meowed. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, look at him coming over.
He knows.
I will say, though, I haven't had these for a while, but like I tried them again recently. Like Three Musketeers and stuff.
Oh, okay. Good shit.
Too sweet. Just too sweet.
Three Musketeers is like the not supposed to be as sweet and say like rich one.
No, too sweet. Nope.
That's crazy. Oh, I love it.
The nougat is like it's too much, and like the chocolate coating just too much. Yeah. Even like Snickers is like a little too.
Well, Snickers is a meal. A Snickers is like
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that shit.
Well, I've got like mini Snickers, and those things are like crazy. I pop one, and like my stomach starts rumbling. Like like 15 minutes later, it's like, ooh, buddy, you sure you wanted to eat that? And I'm like, I didn't. Now I want to even less now. So
that's okay. Yeah.
Interesting. What's your favorite candy? Like top 5, we'll say.
Top 5. I love a Reese's. Any Reese's
Cups,
Reese's, whatever.
Okay, Reese's is great, yeah.
As we know, peanut butter.
Knockoff Reese's? Like the ones... No. The ones that are like...
The ones you get at Sheetz.
All right, well...
They're like really thick. Is that what you're...
No. Because those are too waxy, right?
Yeah.
You do want a thick one, but like there's like certain brands that make them like really good. They're like more expensive, but like...
Is that the white package with the like peanut butter cups?
Oh, those are pretty good. Those are a little bit better than Reese's, but I disagree. Yeah,
Reese's is like there's something about it. Like
I don't like the like generic Reese's cups, but the they're like special like themed ones, the pumpkins, or they had the ghouls and skeletons.
Yeah.
Those are killer. Like those are all killer. That's like the perfect ratio there.
People are always talking about those, and it's like, yeah, of course it's like people are like, why are these ones so much better? It's like, yeah, it's because it's fucking like 6 times as much peanut butter to chocolate ratio, and the peanut butter is so fucking sweet and sugary, you don't even notice it in the regular like cups, but then you eat one of those pumpkins or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'm just eating like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter right now.
Yeah,
which is great. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, let's not mention peanut. Let's not get too deep into the peanut butter.
It's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut. But yeah, the ratio is just so much better. And I've talked about that with multiple people, and I'm like, everyone agrees. Yeah, ratio is just better on like even the Christmas tree.
The mini cups, though,
ratio is just better.
Those are good too because you have
the mini cups are good too. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say my other big candy is Crybaby gum, the sour.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow!
That has a soft
good
spot
answer.
in my heart.
Good answer. Yeah.
Thank you. Family Feud. I don't know. Like I have so much so many fond memories growing up of like eating a whole bag of those and then feeling my cheek skin fall off for like the next week because it's so sour.
Yes.
It's just like burning a hole through my cheek. Hell yeah.
There's like a super sour candy. I think it's Bartlett's. Let me look it up. Bartlett's Blue Raspberry, I think is what they were called.
I've heard of this.
Okay, it's not that. Maybe Barnett's. All right.
Super sour
Barnett's is
candy.
one. I think it's Barnett's. Yeah. They are.
Oh, I see.
The sourest things you can buy. And then like the blue raspberry ones were like made illegal in the US and you could only buy them like on eBay from like Britain. And I bought these once and brought them into the restaurant and had everyone try them, and like very few were the number of people who could like keep them in their mouths because they're so sour. Like it's like the coating on it is like super fucking sour. It starts to burn
isn't it just
immediately.
Citric acid? Isn't that
yeah,
all of them are just citric acid? So I could do it. Just like I could take the substance, I could eat these. I could eat a whole mouthful of these, no problem.
They're
My
good.
Mouth would
They're
shed
really good.
afterward.
Yeah. Oh, it does. And like,
good.
It's worrying because like if it's on your tongue, it like makes your tongue shed. It's like, wait a second, whoa!
That sounds great.
I haven't had that one happen before. They're good. Yeah, they're cool stuff.
How do you feel about the dentist? This is
hate
not
him.
related. You don't like the dentist?
I hate the dentist. I hate the dentist.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were leaning in. Interesting. I wish I could like take all my teeth out and have them cleaned. Like, you know, in the Toy Story 2, you know the scene where they clean Woody, where like they restore
like,
Woody.
Cleaning his eyeball and everything.
I want them to do that to my teeth. Like, I want the dentist to. I don't have any teeth I don't have problems with the dentist or anything, or like tools, whatever. So I would love it if I could just like shed my whole, like, honestly, the thought of shedding my tongue skin and like, yeah, that sounds great. Or like, yeah, taking out each of my teeth and having them like individually cleaned. That would be nice. That's what that made me think of, is like, it's like a fantasy of mine.
Interesting.
Yeah. As long as they could all go back in and like not have any problems.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I've had like a ton of teeth problems growing up. So like,
really?
cereal fucking
Bartlett's fucking sour candy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I was a cereal cavity getter. And my mom would fill my fucking baby teeth cavities. And like she would do like the like not porcelain, but whatever like the like more expensive option is instead of like silver or gold or like the faux silver or gold, whatever they fill it with, the metal. She was always like, Rick, like, it's so fucking expensive. You gotta like, and like I would brush my teeth. I just like I'm like, yeah, I'm losing these things in a couple of years anyway. Like I don't really give a shit, right?
Yeah.
And I had one really bad cavity that when I went home 2 years ago, they had to drill out 2 of my teeth for it and then like refill both of them. I can still feel it. And the worst part of that is that like I want to say a couple of months afterwards, the tooth that had the cavity had a cavity again, and I could feel it like with my tongue. And it's like in between the gap where like they like filled it and like where the tooth was. So like obviously the cavity was still there, right? Like they just filled over it a bit.
They didn't do a good
and
job
like it's just like and it's just like still there now. But I can't say anything because like so it was like my like adopted family that like helped me out with that. And like they know the dentist personally, and she gave him a really good like deal on it. So it's like I can't really complain, but at the same time,
you could still complain.
I gotta get this shit like refixed. Like this has gotta get retouched up.
Yeah.
It's one of my cool teeth too. Like I have like favorite teeth. The like sort of sharpish ones, like in between the canines and then like your molars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those coolest fucking teeth you got in your mouth, especially because they got like the double. It's like 2 points. One's like further in, one's out a bit.
Yeah,
cool
that's
teeth.
like
They're cool teeth.
Isn't that the thing that they have? Like little snaggle-toothed anime girls have. Don't they always have those teeth extra pointy? Isn't that?
I thought that was just their. I thought that was just their like.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatchamacallit, the canines.
That's the incisor, isn't it? I think your canines are further forward. I don't know.
Those aren't your first four. Your first four is something different, right?
Yeah, those
is your first four the
your herbivore teeth or your? No, I don't know.
No, these are carnivore teeth. Because like
your front too?
The flatter teeth. Yeah, the back teeth are your herbivore teeth, right? Herbivores have flat teeth so that they can like crush and grind.
I thought the front and the back, and then the middle ones are.
Although, you know what? I guess I have seen a lot of herbivores with the.
That's what I'm saying, like horses and
teeth.
shit.
Yeah,
right? Like yeah,
and like rabbits. I was thinking of carrots specifically. Yeah,
teeth names. This is great podcasting.
This is good podcasting.
Okay, yeah, your incisors are your front four, so those are like the bitey ones, and then your canines are these, and then premolars.
Yeah, the ones right
molars.
over there.
Okay, so although those are not herbivore teeth versus carnivore teeth, so who knows which are which.
No.
But anyway.
But yeah, canines, love the canines. But yeah, in like a lot of like VTubers and stuff will have like just like their canine showing.
What is a VTuber?
That's a big thing.
I have heard this word but never looked at it. Is it virtual YouTuber? Is that what that is?
Yeah. It's somebody who just like uses an avatar instead of it.
This is want to watch.
I want to mention
someone. Ahead.
I forget whether it was the Orioles or the Astros. Like a national baseball team had like VTubers for like their halftime show or something, or maybe they're for like the whole show, like as commentators. I don't remember what it was. I just remember seeing the article about it, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right here, guys? Like, what's going on? We've gone too far.
You know who are the original VTubers? The Crescendos from Interstella.
True.
This is We Want to Watch. My name is Lane.
My name is Ricky.
This is a podcast where we talk about everything but the movies that we want to watch, apparently, for like 15 minutes.
We need an intro.
Yeah, we got there. We figured it out. But this was a double feature Lane's Frame episode. Even though one of these I would argue is maybe not a feature. But I guess we'll make it.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about that one first?
No, I think we should go in chronological order, and let me say the movie names. So the first we did the Daft Punk double feature. I mean, I don't know why I have to say the names when you clicked on the episode. The title's there. You know what you're listening
say the name for the people. Come on.
The first one is Interstellar 555, the story of the secret star system, directed by several people, but Leiji Matsumoto was the main, I guess, visionary or like mangaka that was involved. And then the second one is somewhat of a feature, no director. I realized after I started to watch it, I was like, oh, there's no like listed.
Ooh,
is the Daft Punk Alive videotaped concert in Lollapalooza, or in Chicago at Lollapalooza in 2007. So the reason I sent it to you is not because I had no faith in you, Ricky, as you commented last night, but because I wanted to make sure we watched the same video, because there were multiple out there. So I wanted to make sure we were locked in. Yeah. So
I had not watched that one, but at the same time, I did watch it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Wait, you had watched it already? That's funny. Which one did you watch?
Yeah. I don't know. Just it was a different random one. But yeah, it was like much less production value and like less like camera angles and stuff. Okay. But it was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, this is like the one you said was definitely much better. And I was like, all right, cool.
That's crazy. You watched 2 sets of this. That's really funny. Let's talk about the proper movie first before we talk about that.
Okay.
I guess, but
okay. Yeah.
Should we set the stage with one more shit, or should we save that for later?
One more shit.
Because the movie opens with it, and like the album opens with it, so it kind of feels like
we can't stop.
So right before we recorded our Long Legs episode, we were on a trip with Lucy and Christopher. Shout out Lucy and Christopher.
Shout out.
To like the beach and whatever in Annapolis. And why did you start singing that? I don't know if I was singing
It's
one
just
more
on my mind.
time. Yeah,
I don't think so. I just had it stuck in my head.
But why did we put the word shit in? And this is important for
it's just
for
funny.
The watchers. Well,
This is very important for the watchers.
I feel like there was a reason though. Like I feel like one of us was like talking about shitting or something or like
I think it's because we were having problems with the audio, and like I was definitely getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And like one of the two of us was like oh, like I just don't give a shit.
Or like, let me try
like,
one more time. Maybe I'm sure
yeah.
it
And
arose
I
like
had the
that.
song stuck in my head.
And then
And like I was like I think I was doing it and I was just like, oh, like one more shit. Like one more shit. And then like as soon as I said it, like I was cursed to repeat it forever, right? Like
yeah. Well, and then you cursed you and the rest of the crew to all get terrible like diarrhea food poisoning later that evening.
True. Okay.
So
I don't think that was us. I think that was
it was the eggs at the breakfast that we ate because I did not eat eggs.
That's what it was.
Determined that is the only thing that I didn't eat that you guys ate.
Fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I didn't know you liked this album, Discovery.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Do you have a history with it? I know you mentioned you and Zach love it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't like have a history outside of that, I guess. Daft Punk was one of like the first artists I think I've like really listened to a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like I started listening to Daft Punk a lot, and then like I listened to Deadmau 5 or Deadmau5, and then like I started listening to like other music, but like one of my friends was really into like just like electronic and stuff, like in middle school, like early middle school, and that's where I started, and like I'd never listened to music before, so like it has like a special spot in my heart.
Okay, interesting.
And that was right around 2007-ish. Not to put a date on my age or anything, but even though I've done that many times during the pod. So like these albums were like just coming out, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is sick!" And like, I don't know, like those were like very formative, and I don't know, I've heard a lot of like other types of music, and especially like working in kitchens, I've heard a lot of like random electronic music and shit, or like heavy metal, yada yada, whatever, which isn't really my thing. But like one dude I knew was like huge into electronic music, and like listened also to like house and fucking random underground shit, and still nothing ever really tops like the like original, like I'm like, I don't know, man, this isn't as good as like, you know, Daft Punk, right? Like end of the day, which is something I really like about like hanging out with Zach, is that like shout out Zach, like obviously like listens to new stuff all the time, and like he'll introduce me to music sometimes, and I'll introduce him to like, you know, one or two things every now and again, but like we do have like the like classic throwbacks that we always put on when we listen to. This is one of them. So
nice, that's cool, very cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, so I first started listening to music on my own. So my parents were both like big into music. Like I've probably been to like several dozen. I've probably been to like 60 concerts in my life.
Sheesh,
have I told on this podcast, or have I told you about my mom being like a radio call-in winner record holder? Have we talked about
No, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, so not so much anymore, I don't think, but when I was growing up, you know, she was a homemaker, and so she used to call in on the radio, and she just had really good luck, or like a really good technique, I guess I shouldn't just say luck, with, you know, I don't even know if they still do radio concert or radio contests anymore, but it'll be like, be the 10th caller, and you get two tickets to go see whoever. So I saw, because my mom was always winning those, and in fact she ended up talking to the Guinness World Record people about it, but then she would have had to provide proof, and they were worried about like taxes, I think, so they never officially pursued it. But
Fair.
my mom won probably like hundreds of things off the radio during my childhood, and so I saw a ton of concerts of like classic rock. Like I saw Styx multiple times. I've seen Journey like 5 times. I saw Chicago.
I love Journey.
Yeah. I saw Ted Nugent like in like 2007.
Oh my god.
Yeah, some not so good ones. But yeah, so my parents were both like huge into like classic rock, 60s to 80s kind of stuff. So I listened to a lot of that, but then I never like on the radio, and then I started getting into my own kind of taste when I was like that age of like middle school through the rented CDs that you could get at the library. I did some LimeWire stuff, but yeah. And so, I believe it was Homework, the first Daft Punk album that I listened to first. And so it holds a special place in my heart, but, I ended up listening, of course, to all of their music and, the Alive album as well, the one that the set list for the second movie that we are talking about today, that was another one that was really close to me. So yeah, they were very formative. They definitely have a special place in my heart, and my relationship to it has changed over the years, because like when I was growing up, I was like, this shit's incredible, nothing sounds like this, like, you know, this is so cool, like this is so like transportive. And then like as I've gotten older, I kind of was like, you know, it's not exactly the most complex music in the world sometimes. Like some of it is and some of it isn't.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of like come back around to like, actually, I don't care if this is for simpleton idiots.
It doesn't have to be complex, right? Like, yeah.
So anyway, I have a soft spot for them, and I started to listen to, I kind of hadn't listened to them for a long time, and then I got back into them very recently because of just like particular work I was doing at my job, where I was like just looking at spreadsheets and like needing to think. And
you need something.
Yeah, but not something with words necessarily. And so I was like, I'll crack into some Daft Punk, and then that just like, it set me off. And for the last like month and a half, I've been like, I can't wait for us to be done with the Hooptober.
We don't stop.
Yeah. So I've been itching for this. So
speaking of complexity of music, do you know Jacob Collier?
No, who's that?
He's like a piano guy. I think he does like a bunch of music, and like, I mean, he's like a composer, I guess, to a certain degree as well. Like pretty accomplished, I guess, to a certain degree, but like very savant-esque, where like his music is interesting, and so like what he can like sort of do with it. But it's much better when it's, like, more simplistic. And he generally, like, overproduces and, like, overmakes stuff to, like, the nth degree. Where he's using, like, such crazy harmonics and, like, just a whole bunch of, like, random, like, polyrhythms. And it's cool. But at the same time, it's not very, like, it's cool and interesting, but it's not, like, casual listening.
Like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been to Juilliard, but like it reminds me of like what someone like fresh out of Juilliard would like make and be like, I am the greatest artist ever. I think he's a very genuine person. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to attack his like personality at all. I think he's a very genuine person, and he does make like interesting music, but it's so like it can feel really up its own ass sometimes, especially when it gets to a point where I'm like, this doesn't, like, sound great. Like, I get what you're going for, but it's too much. Like, you have to strip that back a little bit.
Yeah. I hear you.
Well, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people go, like, oh, this is, like, the best thing ever. He's pushing the bounds of music. And it's like, yeah, kinda.
I mean, people have that criticism about Beyonce a lot. Not to take it in a completely different direction. Of her music being, like, overproduced.
Beyonce's... All right, well.
Right.
But it's not. Like... Beyonce is great. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I can see it. I don't think overproduced or like very, very highly produced is even necessarily a bad thing. Like the Discovery album is super produced. And then you compare it to like Human After All, where it's just like rock, robot rock, and you're like, oh, these are like two totally different ends of the spectrum here.
But it's super cool. Like I love that. Like I don't know.
I do too. I do too. But again, it's just I think it can be a matter of taste. Like
Yeah.
like I said, the joke of like, oh, this is just music for idiots who are probably like rolling, while they're doing it's like, well, that's fine.
I think you sort of have to be in certain moods for like certain different types of music, which I guess is kind of like just apparent by like,
Of
oh,
course.
that's what music is, right? But like some of it's definitely a lot easier to listen to like at any time than like
For
other
sure.
music. So
Yeah, polyrhythms. When I was taking drum lessons, I remember my drum like instructor was like, definitely try. I think he mostly had like kids as his charges, and so him having another adult to like talk to, I think he made him very excited, and so he was just like always trying to tell me about like this really complex shit. I'm like, dude, I can't even like move my left hand and right hand independently yet. Like, you need to chill out. Like, what the fuck is a polyrhythm? Anyway.
My friend Darren would do that. He was a drummer, and like I went over his house the one day and he was like, oh dude, like get on the drums, play a little something. And I was like tip tapping away. It's like, what are you doing, man?
That's all
like,
you can do?
Just play them. Yeah. He's like,
I don't know.
He's like, just play a rhythm. And I was like, I don't know about that. And like, so like I was doing like the 1, 2, 3, 4 with like one hand because that's all I could do. He's like, all right, but like I'll just do it like double time with your left hand too. I was like, see, that's just not gonna happen, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Anyway,
wait, real quick, I wanted to say, because you mentioned your childhood exposure to music. My childhood exposure to music, my mom got a like 6 CD changer.
VeggieTales. And VeggieTales. I'm calling it. You were a VeggieTales
I did
kid.
listen to VeggieTales. I I loved VeggieTales. But mostly because it was like the only music that I could listen to. But my mom hated like radio music, and she would only listen to like gospels and spirituals and hymns, and she would have on Christmas music for like 6 months of the year, and it drove me literally insane. Like,
fair.
The psychological like damage that I sustain anytime I walk into a store and hear like a piece of Christmas music from before the year 2000, which is most of them, right? Like, it makes my head explode.
Yeah.
There's some Christina Aguilera which hasn't yet like seeped into my bones, but like everything else, it's like
Aguilera.
I can't stand it.
Do you mean Mariah Carey? Does Christina have a Christmas
song?
song?
I think I do mean Mariah Carey. My bad.
There's an army of gay men chasing you down right now. They are finding you.
An army, you say?
So your mom didn't. She wasn't like playing the secular like All I Want for Christmas Is You, Last Christmas, Wonderful Christmas Time, like those. It was all hymns.
No, it would be like Simply Having like a Wonderful Christmas Time.
She's a Paul fan, a Beatles fan.
Yeah, she was. She said that she liked like the Beatles and like Simon and Garfunkel and that sort of stuff.
Oh, cool.
But I never heard them till I grew up. Yeah. So like I don't know what she was talking about.
That's funny. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay, so we should talk now that we're like literally 30 minutes in.
One more thing, actually. They still do radio giveaways, because I actually won one with my friend Lou. Radio 104.5, shout out Radio 104.5. They were like at the Rita's, which was like right by my house, and we were driving around, and like we were listening. We saw a rainbow because like it had just been like raining, and we were just like driving around.
Like, oh, this is my sign.
and yeah, they're like, hey, show up at the Rita's, yada yada yada, and like we're giving away tickets to like some lucky winner. So I was like, bro, do we just go there? Yeah. We stopped off there, talked to them, and they're like, hey, you guys have like the only people who have showed up so far, but like we've got like another hour before we're doing like the drawing for it. And we were like, oh, all right, cool, no problem. And then we went out and ate, and then came back, and like they were still there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 hours later, we were like, hey, like what's up? And they were like, we had a few more people, but like you guys are here now, so. And they just like gave us tickets to. Oh, it was Cage the Elephant with Portugal the Man opening, which was like sick concert, really cool stuff.
Can you think of a more 2014 lineup?
That's what it was. Yeah, spot on. Wow, good for you.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so This first one, the anime movie, I knew it was basically just the sound, like, the soundtrack was the Discovery album, their second album, and that it was just like no dialogue, just like kind of a, whatever, one long music video sort of thing. But I did look into it a little bit more between when we talked about it, and apparently the main director and kind of artist that they went to is a pretty famous guy. Do you know Space Battleship Yamato or Galaxy Express 999? Do these sound familiar to you?
That's what I was going to talk about. I haven't really watched them, right? But like they are so distinctive and like and like there's like not memes about it, but like I mean there are definitely memes about some of these, but like the Galaxy Railways, Space Battleship Yamato, like you mentioned. There was another. This really early one, Wakusei Robo Danguard Ace. If you look this up, it's under Leiji Matsumoto's like not discography, but like plethora of works.
What is it called?
1978, Wakusei Robo Danguard Ace. And like you could see exactly where they got the art style from. Like it's like 1-to-1.
Well, even the two that I named, you can see like the way the eyes are kind of shaped, especially on the woman, look a lot like the main character. I think it's Yamato, is that one? Either way, I mean it's just you can see the influence. And apparently Daft Punk, the two of them, like went to him specifically because they grew up watching his stuff. They liked his
that's
as
so
like
cool.
an homage. Yeah, so they kind of like wanted to imitate his style. Which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is like very distinctive because like a lot of the other animators that were working on this were I don't want to say like background animators, but a lot of people who like had helped out with like some Akira Toriyama works, like Dr. Slump, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
And so like actually the I don't want to say the kid, but the
short guy.
if you look up Daisuke, Nishio, like he has that like
I see.
He has that like very particular style, and it's very like, oh, this is like just like Dragon Ball. I don't know what it is about it, but like it's like so reminiscent. So you can kind of tell where like he had his hand in things, not even in the artwork, but also like in the animation style, which is really cool.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. That is cool. What did you think of this?
Like
I didn't mean to take such a long the movie. I didn't mean to take
good.
such a long dramatic pause.
You're good.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I mean, pretty cool. It's like for them to like match the emotions of each of the songs and like sort of make them into a movie was interesting, ambitious, I think, to a large degree, and I think they did really well with it. It has that very retro anime feel as well. I think just because of the people that worked on it, and probably the way that they worked on it. I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. The storyline is like okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like nothing crazy. But they do a lot of I don't know. Especially like early, they do a lot of cool stuff with like the robotics and like animating the way that like I don't know. Like when they were doing like the transformation scenes and like every time like the machines
Harder,
closed
better, faster,
and stuff.
stronger. Yeah.
It's a lot of like really cool visuals. I think it's all super interesting. And I think that's kind of where it was at its best. Versus like I don't know, some of their just like normal character interactions, which it's just not as visually interesting. It's still like cool, but
yeah. It's kind of it's funny that you say it's ambitious. I feel like they went for this is another, I put in my Letterboxd review, like, this is not helping me beat the, like, Daft Punk is for idiots allegations, because all of the songs, you know, I have listened to this album like dozens of times through in my life, probably 100 times, you know, and so it's so listenable. And so I have all of this, like, it's not like I'm sitting there like daydreaming of like, I wonder what this song means, but like, you know, you kind of form emotional attachments to songs that you've listened to a lot. And so
100%.
Then to see them conveyed on screen in the most obvious way, it's like, the song Digital Love, what could that be about? Like, how could we depict or like animate this? Like, what, or like Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which is just like, that's the robots building scene. It's just like the most obvious kind of like first pass at like an idea of a story. And I get that like you have to make, it's just such a good album theme, you know, of like kind of, like what's out there, what, you know, all of that kind of stuff, blending the digital and human emotion. But like to then just again come away with like, oh, and the song Superheroes is where there's a guy who flies through the air, like they say in the song, there's something in the air over and over again. It's just, it's very, very simple. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's again like you're trying to tie together like a bunch of songs. Like obviously the album does have like sort of like themes behind it, but it's not like the deepest, right?
No, but I guess if I were writing this, or if I had written this album, I would think that I would be able to conceive of something just not just so obvious, I guess. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, like you said, to kind of be obvious or simple. It's just like, it didn't keep my attention the same way that I would have expected. I was a little let down that it wasn't more like, I guess, creative in that way. I mean, some of the like, okay, I'm picking nits here a little bit. Why
pick your nits.
do we start on another planet in space, and then we spend
and then they de-smurfify them
on
and
Earth?
Then they're on Earth.
Like, why would I want to stay in space? Like, we could take this in space, and this could be a space thing. I get the themes, but it's just like, oh, we're not going to get to see the cool space shit again for till the last 5 minutes of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And like that's where the visuals sort of shone the brightest, right? Where like in the beginning and then at the very end, right?
Yeah,
because anything where it's just the characters,
probably.
Yeah, and then it's just like the characters talking otherwise, and like there's a storyline there, right?
Yeah.
And then the one, what's the one downbeat song? It's like 5th or 6th on the album.
Night
like
Vision, the one where he's going through the city.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's kind of like synthy. Yeah.
Like cool, and it sort of shows them like not going into the depths of despair or anything, but like it shows moody. Like, oh, stardom is hard. And it gets moody, and that's where it's like, oh, like actually the guy who signed them on Earth is like evil, yada yada. It's like, oh, okay, cool. When it started, I thought it was going to be them like rebelling against like
too.
Something, and I think that would have been like a much more interesting way for them to go. But
it's interesting you say that, because the entire Human After All album, right? So like this is Discovery is their second one. Homework is the one that has Around the World, and then Human After All is like Robot Rock, Technologic, you know, and like that album's themes are very like breaking out of the mold, you know, becoming human, you know, rebelling against society. I think because Daft Punk was so like rocketed up to fame and stardom and influence with this album, and then they kind of like made this like very stripped back, very sloppy, very like kind of like, I don't want to say angsty, but it's a little angsty is their third album. And so like that almost fits better with what you're saying of like them rebelling, you know, to set that.
I don't know. It like again, it's ambitious, right? To take an album and to animate like a storyline across it, right?
I don't know. This reminded me of the very first CD I ever bought was A Fever You Can't Sweat Out from Panic at the Disco. And I remember when I was like 9, right? What?
No, nothing. There's lights. I'm gonna say though, Panic at the Disco makes music which is like very. Their albums are like super cohesive and like almost not storyteller-ish, but like.
Yeah.
Like they've got some storyteller elements to them, right?
Their first album is a story, like pretty much hands down. And so I remember when I was younger writing stories or like a rock opera of that album and the My Chemical Romance ones, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. And I remember, it's like, oh, they talk about vampires in this song. This story has to be about vampires. Like that level of like analysis or depth.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's how this feels like something, and at the end, it's like a cop-out because it shows that it's just a little kid daydreaming about it while listening to the album. It's like, oh, it's very childlike. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that, I mean, I think if they wanted something a lot more boundary pushing, there's like maybe better animators for it. Sure. And like storyboarders and whatnot. Or like directors, I guess, creative directors for it. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, this is like par for the course, but I think it's like,
yeah, it's not that deep.
It's just not that deep.
Yeah,
yeah. And I don't think I don't think they wanted something that deep, and I don't think that like the creative director was like going for anything deep, right?
I agree. Yeah.
So like, yeah. I feel like they were like, hey, can you just sort of like make us like pretty sort of straightforward story that like follows the plot of the songs. Yeah. And there may also have been some language barrier stuff there. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
So like it, yeah. I don't want to say that like affected the artistic integrity of it at all, but I think like it was very much so like they asked for something and like he was like, yeah, okay, and like she made it.
Well, they're known as having been like very, very controlling over their stuff, like perfectionists.
Oh, really?
So yeah, not in like
so this is exactly what they wanted then.
Yeah, so and like right, like it accomplished what it was setting out to do. It just, I guess, was maybe a disappointment for me, who had not seen it but has a very strong attachment to the music. I also the older style. I don't dislike the style. I think it looks good, but I don't love it for a music video because there didn't like, this is one of the most propulsive albums ever made, right? And so the fact that it was edited, I don't want to say sloppy because I'm sure it was very deliberately edited, but it wasn't edited like a music video. And so it wasn't kind of like, it was hard to like get into the music the same way because the cuts were not like on beat. It was very straightforward, and that's fine, except there's no dialogue, there's no sound effects really, there's like nothing but the music accompanying it, and so that just makes it just a little bit more like, okay, this isn't even
when they're playing the instruments, they're not on beat. Like
no, that's
that
what
was
I mean.
That was the big thing for me, that I was like, come on, man, like and again, I don't think, like, I think this is fine. I think this probably plays really good as like a mood piece at a party or something. You know what I mean? Oh, I was gonna say probably plays really well like on the big screens while they're like performing their album, so that like people who are like that tripping or high or whatever can be like, oh shit, and like this probably went crazy like 15 years ago, right? Like
there are some cool psychedelic visuals in it, so they're few and far between, but
and again, like they spend so much time like just doing like the, hey, we're on Earth, like it's like, all right, great, yeah.
But there are a couple of nice expressionistic kind of parts, like the Something About Us scene, which is another one of the downbeat ones, where the pilot dies at the at the manor or wherever it is that they go to,
and he like holds the one girl's hand, like
and they kind of like go into some like flowers, and so that's kind of nice. And then obviously the beginning and end are great in that way, but it's it is also just like, okay, we're on Earth, it's sad, they're all bored, they all are empty inside because they've had their souls sucked out,
yeah and the whole like them being controlled and then being freed by like the like anti-mind control gun thing. Like I was like, all right.
I mean, I
like,
don't care about that. Like I was prepared for some shenanigans, but it just
no, I don't
there
know.
wasn't enough shenanigans. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was actually starting it. I was surprised that it wasn't Daft Punk. Like it wasn't.
They just have like the little cameo in. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it would be. Well, I thought it would be like them and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not them like becoming like robots or whatever, like their robot personas. Right. But like maybe like the step before that, or them like meeting robots from like a robot world that looked like them. Yada yada. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. Who knows? Something. Yeah.
And like they could have made like a cohesive like storyline with their other albums across that, and like done something where the robots become human. Yada yada, and like could have been like interesting and cool. They could have kept tying more stuff in. But they didn't, and they probably won't, so that's fine. Yeah,
I guess, I mean, this album is so disco-oriented that, kind of setting it, I guess if I'm being charitable, like, the kind of, like, rise to fame, what does fame cost, selling out, all of that is kind of very 70s-esque. Like, it makes me think of, like, the 70s Star is Born, and, like, that kind of thing. So...
And the animation reflects that. Like,
yeah, no, I think that's 100% intentional. So, I get it. It's I can appreciate it, even though I felt a little bit let down, I guess. So I did the villain. He looked like Dr. Robotnik with his hair, like his fucking hair that comes out to like.
There's a villain that looks exactly like him, and it's from some like random super niche anime that I watched like years ago, and I cannot bring it to mind. I've been thinking of it for like the last at least day, and I don't know what it is.
I'll Google. Hang on. Anime villain, gray hair, big, spiky.
You're gonna get a million different results, bro.
Don't worry about it. Was it an old guy? Oh,
yeah,
obviously it's Inuyasha.
Oh yeah, duh. I actually loved Inuyasha. That was my first anime.
Apparently Goku has like a gray-haired version.
Are you talking about Goku Ultra Instinct? That's silver hair, Lane.
My bad.
Oh, or are you talking about true Ultra Instinct? I don't even know what color his hair is in that, so I don't know why I'm doing a cheeky laugh.
You have all of the Reese's Puff, Dragon Ball, whatever editions.
No, I don't.
Oh, embarrassing.
It is. I don't have. Oh, let me check. I don't have Piccolo and Vegeta. Sag. Kind of the goats too.
Who's the bad guy in Lupin the Third, the movie? Is there someone in Lupin that has
the guy who
he's got like a mustache.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've also seen an anime with the guy that looks like
that's this. What I'm saying. And like I feel like the protagonist was like a kid, right? Like a short brown hair kid.
Yeah.
And like I was looking through some of the other like animations that these guys have worked on, because like the animation style looked really similar, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Does Uncle Iroh ever have big spiky hair?
No.
I feel like the lower profile kind of fits.
Oh, I guess maybe in the episode where he does like the fire breathing trick, they get like a couple of like lower shots there, and like he sort of like looks a little bit more wild. Or when he's breaking out of jail, right?
I'm trying to run through like Studio Ghibli villains. Howl's Moving Castle, it's the lady. Obviously Spirited Away is what's her face. A lot of evil women.
Does Hayao Miyazaki hate women?
I mean, he has some weird opinions about women.
Does he actually?
I mean, he's not like a creep or anything. I think he's just an old guy. Like, He's I feel like I've heard him say like stuff about adult women being, you know, XYZ misogynist thing. What else am I thinking of? I feel like there's Howl's hair does that kind of like big spiky thing at one point when he's like
it's so funny that you're like just going through like Ghibli films and you're like, it's gotta be a Ghibli.
Because I was also thinking it looked familiar, and so that's why I was like, well, I haven't seen as much anime as you, so, but I don't know. Kiki's, there's no villain in the same way. And Mononoke isn't either. What about Nausicaa? No, that's also a woman. Damn, he does hate women.
Kind of looks like the old guy from The Boy and the Heron, but like, obviously I was not thinking of that when I was looking at it.
The old guy? Oh, like the old, a little bit, the wizard.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's what I'm saying, like, not like...
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, it's like spot on. I know it's probably pretty far from that, but...
I mean, he does kind of have the same, it's not his hair, but his mustache, or, that's why I said Dr. Robotnik. His mustache creates almost the same profile as this guy's hair. Like the big pointed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the, what are those things that come up, like, the sideburns and then they come up to, like,
the mutton chops.
What is that called? Mutton chops, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Dr. Robotnik. I think it's like a combo of that and like Uncle Iroh, I think. I don't know. Anyway, we cannot spend another 20 minutes on this.
Well, we could.
No.
It's because we'd be on the damn phone.
I know. I'll add a lot of it. I did have captions on for this, for like the first 5 minutes. And I was like... Well, I just turned captions on kind of by default, like when I'm setting something up or like subtitles, and then I was like, oh, these are just the words of the song. I don't need this. I know what they're saying.
You're like, work it harder, make it faster. You're like, what's going on here?
I don't need to be spoon-fed these lyrics. I know these lyrics. The only other thing I really had to say about this was, I mean, we could talk about the music, but like... What an opening song to your album. To open the album with One More Time is crazy. And, like, it has a great effect of, like, if you loop the album, then you're, like, listening to it again. It's, like, you know, but it's just such an aggro instrument. Like, or, like,
Just like the way it starts, too. The but, like, I don't know,
It's like... It's like a siren, you know? It's just, it's so, like, in your face. This is, like, the pre-9/11, right up to the minute of 9/11 album. Like, tonally. Like, it's just, like, we're partying. It's the new millennium. The 90s are over. Technology's here. Let's have a good time. Like, it's so, like I said, like, right up to that moment feeling. So.
Yeah, it's great. I love the whole album. I mean, I do love how punchy it is when it starts.
Me too.
I mean, not just like the like technological sounds of it, but like the beat and everything, and like the fucking synths and stuff, and the way that they really rock that shit.
Hell yeah!
And because Spotify automatically starts playing the first song of the album again, getting One More Time right after the end is great. Long. It's awesome. Yeah.
I do. Yeah, this is a great album. I mean, Too Long is a classic. Yeah, this is a no skips album, basically.
Yeah.
So, have you listened to, before this, did you ever listen to their live album, Alive 2007?
No.
Oh,
no. Or, well, maybe I had, but I didn't know it was live. I didn't know it was, like, live, ever.
Interesting.
Like, okay. Do they not have a studio recording version of it?
Well, so Alive 2007, the album, is just a recording of this set. So what we watched is the... So taking a step back, so that, they toured in 2007 after Human After All came out. Mm-hmm. So, they did a bunch of sets of that, and then they did release a like a concert album of one set, and it's not necessarily the set we watched. I don't know which. I think the one that they recorded was set in Paris, but the version that we watched was the Lollapalooza concert. But there's not an official, like, here's the concert movie of this tour. What we watched is like leaked not bootleg footage. Like, I do think it was professionally recorded, obviously, but it was never like, and here it's on this DVD, or like here it's for sale to watch. Like, it's just like it was out there in the ether and somebody found it, or like sold it, or stole it. Who knows? So yeah,
because I have heard songs from it, but like I've never sat down and listened to the album or like sought it out or anything like that. Okay. If that's what you're asking. Yeah.
There's because there's no original songs here, in the sense that like everything that they're playing is just different arrangements of their recorded stuff, right? Like, they're like, obviously there's a lot of familiar stuff on here. So yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know. I mean, I knew that it was somewhat bootlegged, but I didn't realize how bootlegged I think it was. So I don't regret picking it, because I think it's interesting for us to talk about. But yeah, I do think it's, not to offend anyone, but it's barely a movie. This recording set.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Like, so like the first one I was definitely listening to, but like I started playing like video games and stuff during it. Not the first movie that we watched, but the first like the live recording. One.
Yeah, because you watched two of them, which is crazy. That's crazy.
Once you sent me the second one, I put it on my phone and I was like, oh, okay, like cool visuals and stuff. And I mean, it's a good album, so like obviously I'm gonna listen to it. But like I was gaming like the entire time, and like every so often I'd be like, "Hey, that looks cool as fuck," and like that was
It's very, I like this, one of my favorite albums of all time too. I like this one even more than Discovery. Their live kind of set here that's shown. I would probably kill someone to be able to time travel back and be at one of these concerts. Like, it looks so incredible. But
now, Lane, if there was a substance which sent you back in time, but remember, you are one.
Yes, yeah, I am one. One more shit. So
one more.
I'm gonna cut you in doing that all throughout the episode, just on beat. Maybe I'll make a song out of this episode. Oh, God. It's time. I've elevated my Audacity skills to...
It is time. Just giving you more clips for it. We're clip farming now.
Thank you. Yeah. Can you just, like, scat for a second?
Skibbity-pow-pow!
Thank you. Okay, I'll make something out of that.
Oh, God.
But no, the movie, it's... Have you seen any other concert films before? Like, have you ever seen like a film like Homecoming?
I have.
Homecoming.
You're gonna love this one. Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay, cool.
2004.
Like, in person? Did you see it? Like, in
no. Like, I think we picked up like a VHS or something. And this was back when like. Yeah, this was like back when I was a kid. And like I was like, "Oh, it's like music on a VHS, like let's get it and listen to it." And like it was fuck. I don't think I remember any of the songs from it, but
Backstreet's Back.
I definitely
probably. I mean, 2004 is like I
definitely watched it quite a few times.
Hell yeah.
And that was like, let me look it up. Let's see what album would have come out on there. Oh, it might have been In Sync.
That's fucked up if it was In Sync and not Back. I don't know. I don't know which one has a movie.
Oh, I feel like let's see what In Sync dropped around.
Backstreet clears In Sync.
That's true.
I mean, if it was Bye Bye Bye, that's In Sync. If it was Backstreet's Back or I Want It That Way, that's Backstreet Boys.
Dude, I couldn't tell you. Although...
That's fucked up that you don't know.
I've got a feeling it was In Sync.
That's crazy.
Because I feel like they probably had like... Huh.
No, go ahead. You first.
I was going to say, I feel like we probably got it with like The Meaning of Christmas by NSYNC, like that album. And then it also came with like one of their other
movie.
like concert movies. And like my mom got it for the Christmas thing, and then like I would watch the other part, and it lines up, it lines up. Okay, this is a really, really deep cut into my own psyche that we're evaluating on this pod.
You're allowed. I have a coworker who, she was like a Justin Timberlake fan. She's a fucking fan today of Justin Timberlake. Her and her, I think, sister was going to go see his concert earlier this year, and then like a few weeks later, he got arrested for DUI or whatever in like March of this year. And I messaged her about
this
it.
This is going to ruin the tour.
Yeah, that joke. And that's what Sky Riley said. And smiled.
True.
But no, I messaged her like, I heard your boy got in trouble. Like, that's crazy. And she's like, I don't think it's real. I don't think it's true. I think that there's more to it than the story. They're running with the story. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, you're actually fucking crazy. Like, if Beyonce or Megan Thee Stallion got arrested for fucking DUI, I'd be like, damn, that sucks, and they should be, fucking see to the full letter of the law. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, actually, it's fake news.
There's more to this. Yeah,
they railroaded her.
To smear them. Yeah, it's a smear campaign, actually.
Anyway,
my boy JT, he's up there on the stands for no reason.
He,
as long as he has his suit and tie. Sorry.
The clip of that song going ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da, stop at the end of one of our episodes got our episode taken offline. I don't remember which one. That's one of the only DMCA takedowns we've gotten was for that song. I forget which one it is.
Fuck JT and fuck his legal team.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I agree with you though. Like the visuals of this, there's not really much to it. There's not like, a concert movie. I'm sure the Backstreet Boys one that you're talking about has like.
Oh, it's cool. We're in sync. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Or whatever boy band. I'm sure there was like maybe like different footage from different concerts. There's probably like, some cool moments on stage, like whatever.
And then they had a lot of times they would do just like it would like cut to like them like dancing on stage or whatever, or like just like they had a lot of like the sort of crowd reactions and stuff here, but like. They would frame it so that like you could see like the crowd like freaking the fuck out while they were like doing their like their dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it made it feel a lot more like an event, whereas this was like watching this just made me go like multiple times. Damn, I fucking wish I was there. That looks cool as fuck.
Yeah. Yes. I think this was a like. I don't want to shit on this because it's not like there's no like author or authorial voice. Like I don't, who knows how this was edited or when. I got the vibe watching it that it was supposed to be probably just this is one concert, and then they would edit it with other footage from other concerts to kind of like build something a little more visually interesting and not so like cell phone footagey.
Yeah.
So I would have, I would have loved to see that, but yeah, it's not really worth watching. I kind of put in my review like, this is,
it's the
visuals
album.
Are cool.
Like
it's the album, and the visuals are cool, but the way that it's filmed is so, it doesn't really give you a good view of those visuals for like long stretches. And it's like, I know this was supposed to be one of the coolest tours, like the most high tech, like LED light shows up to that point. And so, it was fucking cool. Like these people are having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
But you can't really see much of it. So it's just,
Yeah. Yeah. It did look cool. Like, it's like, oh man. But again, it's like, it's enough to be like, damn, I wish I was there. Mm-hmm. Not enough to like, knock my socks off and like be tuned in, right?
Yeah. I definitely was feeling myself fade. Because there were so few moments to really grab onto. Like, of like, oh, this is, this is this cool, like, visual thing that looks different than anything else we've seen in this show. Like the Technologic, great song. like the words coming up along with the song to the lyrics. Like, that's cool. And I'm sure there was more shit like that you could see if you had seen the stage in macro and not just like weird close-ups that weren't framed very well and kind of like quickly cutting away to other stuff.
Like half of one of the dude's face and like the other dude fully
Yeah. So, yeah. But I mean, yes, they make it look like a good time, but it's not a fun watch or a compelling watch either. I think listening to this album with headphones is a more intense experience than just watching the movie. So, because you can hear the audience.
Yeah, which is I mean, cool. Kind of cool. It is cool to like every so often, like when they're doing like
chanting along to the nonsense words and stuff. Yeah.
Well, because like it's not so much that they're doing transitions between songs, because like they're doing like I want to say like blurbs or like clips. What would you call them? Like audio
sampling.
Samples. Yeah. Whenever they drop a sample and you hear people go, "Wah!" Like that's super cool. Yeah. And again, it's another thing that makes me go, "Damn, wish I was there." But like,
same.
It's like watching someone's like snap story of a concert,
and you're like, "Damn, this is cool." I guess.
Yeah. But like that's it. Just speaking on that, I can't believe, like, because I'll know people that will, like, literally just, like, record, like, the whole concert. But, like, they're not, like, getting into it. And, like, you're not singing, so, like, you're, like, so that, like, the audio, like, doesn't have your voice just, like, one more time over top of it.
Yeah.
But, like, also, like, why the fuck are you there? Like, you spent a lot of money for it. Like, fucking sing along, like, bounce around. Like, I don't know, have a good time. Like, you're there and, like, you're with a lot of other people also, like, experiencing the same, like, energy, emotions. Come on.
I haven't watched a ton of concert films, but this, just seeing, and, like, I don't watch concert footage, really, either, of, like, bands I like, but the only, I've seen Beyonce 3 times, and I've seen a lot of concerts, I've seen a lot of artists, and, like, this is not a groundbreaking hot take here, but Beyonce puts on a show like no one else has ever put on a show. And watching this is the only time I've ever been like, man, I bet this was like just the fucking time of your life. Like, So
absolutely
there's nothing
insane.
like having that much energy, that many people, that type of upbeat music, and like that kind of performance, to behold. Even though a light show isn't the same as dancing, like obviously you still get the same like sensory effect of just like being in time, singing along, screaming. It's just, there's nothing like it being at live music like that. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, it made me want to listen to the album again, which I did. I listened to it today because I had been holding off in anticipation of this, and I got
to listen to it twice.
Hell yeah, it's a good album. I probably listened to it that many times.
That again, that's why like when you send me it, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just watch it again. Like, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Like, God,
it's a great, it's a really good, it's an incredible album. I mean, I think this is this is their best work. I think the way that they kind of recontextualize all of their music is just outstanding. It's really cool.
It's awesome. Especially like doing like also imagine being there and they're like doing this live. And, like, you've never heard it before. And, like, but you were a huge fan of the previous albums.
I know, not this... I'm not saying that DJs don't do stuff live, but just they might not have been doing this live because of how high-tech and stuff it was. But I'm sure they were doing some stuff. They weren't just, like, up there. But
if I was there, I'd be... the way that I would experience it, the way that I would be experiencing it as an audience member is like, oh shit, they're doing this live, and it would blow my fucking mind, bro. Yeah,
agreed. Yeah,
I'd have my head being opened up like the fucking thing from Smile instead of my mouth. It's like
spoilers.
Open up my head. Hello. Spoilers for Smile 2 and Smile 1. Also, if you haven't caught either of them, so
come on, bro.
My bad.
Yeah, it's incredible. And you know how sweaty they are. Like, DJs get sweaty.
Yeah.
But, like, they got the helmets, and they're wearing all leather. Like the French are not like us. Yeah. Like,
they're built different.
They are crazy.
They like the sweat, though. The French, they like the sweat. Have you ever read Napoleon Bonaparte's letters to his wife? You ever read that?
Yeah, because he's like, fart on my face, and I can't wait to smell your stinky, don't shower.
Yeah, he's literally like,
armpit. Yeah.
I'll be home in a week, don't bathe. Like, just straight up. It's like, oh, alright, cool, bro. That's how we rockin'? Alright.
You should watch the Ridley Scott Napoleon movie.
Should I?
Like
Does he get into it? Is he, like, grimy with it?
He's grimy with it. And it's Joaquin Phoenix doing his Joaquin Phoenix thing, which I don't love, but I think you like.
I kind of, I like Joaquin.
Yeah, well, you'll like that. He's going balls to the wall with this. Yeah. I
don't like the guy as, like, a person. I like him as an actor.
Yes, okay, alright. We talked about this, like, 2 weeks ago. We're all good. Yeah, fuck Joaquin Phoenix, etc.
Fuck Joaquin. I see Joaquin, I'm walking away. You feel me?
Yeah.
The crowd goes mild. Okay.
What's your favorite Daft Punk song?
Probably Harder, as much as it's a fucking
Harder.
Or what's it? I don't know the full title of these. Yeah,
it's your favorite song. You don't know the name? You piece of shit.
I don't know the names of like most songs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know it's kind of a boring answer.
It kind of is, but I understand. You're a big Kanye West fan.
Well,
you're like, I do like One More Shit.
Looking through my liked songs by them, maybe Touch.
We didn't even talk about Random
Memories.
Access.
Yeah.
Do you like that album? You like that album a lot?
I do like that. Maybe not a lot, but I think it has a couple of bangers on it, and I think that's one of them.
It has a few good songs. I don't like it. It's too clean. It is so, like...
It's like sterilized, yeah. Instant Crush is cool, too. I like Instant Crush, too. That's a good one.
Big, what's-his-face fan? I forget his name. Is he from Animal Collective? Or the Strokes?
Yeah. Whoever, the featured guy, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Get Lucky, it's also another... I don't know. That's such a... Yeah, but it's also one of those, like, of course, right? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's good.
Maybe that's just because, I don't know, all of their songs are, like, I don't know. Like you said before, it's like, they are kind of, like, not simple, but, like, very...
Obvious.
It's really easy to... Yeah, obvious. It's really easy to like all of them, and, like, it's tough to be, like... I don't know. It's tough to pick one that, like, doesn't... I don't know.
That isn't, like, stupid and obvious.
Well,
if you're picking from the singles, you're like, my...
Well, I'm, like, looking through the liked ones, and it's just, like, they're, like... Yeah. I could literally be scrolling through their top 10 right now, and I'd give you, like, the same list, and it's like, alright, cool, like, fine.
Yeah.
I just have the most basic tastes, but...
That's fair.
But, like, they're really good, so, I don't know.
Yeah. Get Lucky's a good song. That album is... I think that's another... That album is quite produced. It sounds... It's like there's, like, 45 sound effects in every single... like second of the song.
They're fun though. It's like really fun. Bad. Yeah.
I don't know that I love the like breezy Eagles kind of inspired or like Fleetwood Mac inspired.
I love that shit. I do. I eat it
up.
I
like it too.
I
like it too.
Shit.
I just don't love it with Daft Punk. I'm like, I want to dance and I can't like want to do like this kind of dancing. Like I want to. You see my ass in Zumba.
It is
dance.
A little difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. If I wanted to listen to, like, beach music, I would listen to a proper beach music artist. I would listen to some reggaeton. I'm not going to come listen to Daft Punk, to hear waterfall chords. Anyway.
Fair. Anyway.
Anything else you'd like to say about
this movie? Hey, your favorite song. Hey? What's your favorite song?
Gun to my head. Ricky's holding up a gun. Not really.
Finger gun. All right.
Yeah,
for the watchers. Not a handgun, a finger gun.
Can I pick one off each album?
Yeah.
Or is that too much?
No, that's fine.
I like Burnin from their first album, which is the one that has like zippy sounds in it, like zoom, zoom.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I love Too Long, the closing song of Discovery.
Okay.
I love The Journey, you know. And then probably it's a tie between Steam Machine and The Brainwasher for the third album. I like Steam Machine. I like the like build up. Like I feel like that's a fun like I'm just getting some shit done. It's got a good kind of slower beat, but it's still like very powerful. And
Brainwasher's kind of crazy. That's on the liked list.
It's good. It's good. It's like it's like a wall of like just like fucking like sound effects hitting you.
It
like
washes your brain. It's there to like clean it all off.
I know. It's cool. It's cool. And then I don't know, Random Access Memories. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite. Maybe Giorgio by Moroder, just because I like hearing...
My name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everybody calls me Giorgio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people just call me Giorgio. It's so good.
Yeah. And it's like a cute little story, you know, him being like, and we turned on the click, click, click,
click,
click. It's cute.
I like that song a lot because there's a JoJo's character named Jojo Giovanni, and it's set in Italy too. It's like that part is set in Italy, and it's like I don't know if I guess it's supposed to be an homage to him, right? Araki does that a lot, so it's like I don't know, it's funny.
Maybe, yeah, cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I should listen to Random Access Memories more. It's just so sonically different than the first three. It's like
I like it though.
So
it's cool. Yeah. And it's I like the progression of the album a lot too. Like cuz it gets it's very clean all throughout,
more
but
like outer space.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Which is nice. That's cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah. But. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's such a downshift from the others that like if I'm in a Daft
not
Punk
very
mood,
dance music. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a simpleton, as we've discussed. Like I like a beat. I like 4 on the floor. Like anyway. Okay, anything else you want to say about Interstellar 5555 or anything else, I guess? Alive 2000.
No, I think we covered it.
We got it all? Okay.
Got it all.
Well, it's a Rick's pick. I did give you an assignment, and it sounds like you delivered. You're getting all A's.
Previously, Lane had assigned me to find... How did you describe it?
I said, find me the most esoteric art house movie you can find.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, we've been watching like all this mainstream shit. Like, we're not really expanding our palettes much.
So, I had a couple of things. One of them was the 2-hour, like, whatever it is, European documentary through, like, the eyes of a bird, where, like, you see, like, various, like, injustices and stuff. But we've talked about that before, so it'd be kind of like...
Yeah.
Right, so it'd be kind of like, all right, well, that's not out of left field. We've already spoken about this. There was there's another film with Jack Black in it. It's, like, Martian, like, Martian invaders
Mars
or something.
Attacks!
Mars Attacks. Yes.
Oh my god.
So that was the second one, but I was like
find an art house movie, and you're like, how about this Tim Burton movie called Mars Attacks that has like every star in it? You've got like Danny DeVito, like everyone is in that movie.
I had never heard of it until like this past week, so I was like, oh, maybe. But
is there like a clip of it going viral or something?
There was a clip of it going viral, and it was of Jack Black dying, and it was like it's kind of funny.
If you had come on this podcast and been like, I picked this esoteric art house movie, Mars Attacks, I would have hung up. I would have canceled the podcast. I would have canceled my RSS subscription.
But Lane, it's a double feature with Mars Needs Moms, the 2005
I would release a 2-hour like diss track about you.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the movies you pick. Anyway, what I ended up actually pitching is known as Werner Herzog's own Apocalypse Now, with the amount of difficulties that he had filming it. In many ways, this movie represents, or the path that he went through in creating this movie represents the same things that the character experiences in the movie. Fitzcarraldo by Werner Herzog, 1982.
Very interesting. I'm excited to watch this. I have not heard of this movie by name, but I do know it as I know of him and Klaus Kinski's drama. So I'm very interested to hear about this. I've not seen any other. I've seen one other narrative Herzog movie. So
this one wasn't on it wasn't on your list or anything, and something went viral about this. But I'd seen the same clip before. It was like a 5-minute clip where they essentially shit talk Kinski like the whole time, and it's
a
like
guy who
there's
deserves
like
it.
yeah, there's like clips of him being like a big fucking baby like all the time, and like part of it they're like, yeah, the locals asked at one time, they like approached Herzog, who was like working closely with them, they were like very respectful towards, if they wanted him to kill Kinski like on the low. They're like, we can get it done, and like no one will know, it'll be fine. And Herzog politely declined, which is like very funny. And I was like, all right, we gotta watch the fucking film. That shit's hilarious. So
he is such a wow. That's really interesting. I'm very curious to see. Yeah, like
after the movie, I wanna like compare to see how it holds up. Like if I could feel it through the screen, his
well,
hateability,
it's so
I guess.
interesting because it's I mean, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Save
Save
it
the
for the
pod. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been meaning to see more of his movies. So.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to give us a clean one more shit like toe to tip?
I don't want to shit toe to tip, I'll be honest with you, but
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna give you a noogie. I'm going like I'm going to drive over there and I'm going to cut the square of paint that all of that mold is on in your closet, and I'm going to like wrap you in it like a mummy.
Which I only discovered earlier this week. For the people listening, this is not like mold that has been there for a while. It is something that I recently discovered. Well, it is mold that's
been there for a while. But
it has been there for a while. Yeah, that's
you
true.
Only Daft Punk Discovery
behind a fucking
more
box.
Timed it.
Yeah, ruined everything in the box too. Fucking tragedy, man. Anyway.
The box.
Lane, I'm trying to get into the zone, dude.
I saw Ricky's got his fingers up to his temples.
I'm doing the fucking like scouter power level thing.
Well, you're sitting there like you're holding an earpiece, like you're trying to find the backing track to sing along to.
Get your boots, hang your coat, get your boots, hang your coat, get your boots, hang your coat, get your boots, hang your coat. Get your boots, hang your coat for this wet ass pussy. Wet ass pussy. Wet ass pussy. Wet ass pussy. I don't wanna stay, I wanna go. Don't wanna stay,